Welcome to Middle Math Academy, percent of a number, level number 4. This is part of our differentiated series where we have 5 levels of challenge for every topic. Let's get started. Our learning target today is I can find any percent of a given number, and I can determine the whole number given any percent and part. Pause the video and rate yourself on our learning target before the lesson 1 through 5. 1 is the least confident, 5 is the most confident. At the end of today's lesson, after we've gotten some more practice, we'll rate ourselves again. Let's get started with some notes. To find any percent of a number, we're first going to convert the percent to a decimal and then multiply by the whole. So to convert a percent to a decimal, we divide the percent by 100. If we have the example, find 35% of 60, 35% as a decimal is 0.35. Then we'll take our whole and we'll multiply it times our percent as a decimal, and that will give us our part. Make sure you're writing with me. Remember, you can always pause the video if you need more time. This is level number 4, so we're going to move pretty quick. So in this example, our whole is 60. Remember, a key word is of. Usually the whole comes after the word of. And so we'll do 60 times 0.35, and that will give us our part, 21. Once you have this down, take a look at example A at the bottom of page 1. Go ahead and complete example A. Come back to the video to check your work. In example A, we know 45% as a decimal is 0.45. It says of 200, so we know what the whole is, and it's 200. So we'll do 200 times 45 hundredths, and we get our part, which is 90. Make sure you have this down. In example A, the problem gave us the whole, 200, and we multiplied it times the percent as a decimal. Now we're going to talk about if we don't know the whole. So the problem doesn't give it to us, and that's what the problem is asking for. So if a certain percent of a number is known, you can find the whole number by dividing the part by the decimal. So now we're not going to multiply times the percent as a decimal, we're going to divide it. The example says $60 is 5% of the total amount Michelle spent on remodeling her home. What is the total amount she spent? So just like I said, of is a keyword for the whole, so is total. So this problem's asking for the whole, it's asking for the total. The first thing we'll do is we'll convert 5% to a decimal, which is 0.05. And then our formula is part divided by percent as a decimal equals whole. Our part is 60, because 60 only represents 5% of the budget, or the amount she spent, divided by 0.05, and we get 1,200 as our answer. Go ahead and complete example B on your own, then come back to the video to check your work. Let's check our work for example B. Sometimes it's helpful to underline and label in our problem. So I know 25% is 0.25. Whatever comes after of is the whole. So this question's asking for the whole, and 50 is the part. So I'll take my part, 50, and divide by my percent as a decimal, and get 200 as our answer. Complete examples C and D, then come back to the video to check your work. Check your work for example C. And this video won't go over example D, but go ahead and check in with your teacher once you finish example D to get additional feedback. Complete problems A and B, then come back to the video to check your work. Check your work for problem A. Check your work for problem B. Complete the rest of page 2 on your own, then check in with your teacher to get additional feedback. Complete examples A and B on page 3, then come back to the video to check your work. Check your work for problem A. Check your work for problem B. Complete the rest of page 3, then check in with your teacher to get additional feedback. Complete examples A and B on page 5, then come back to the video to check your work. Check your work for problem A. Check your work for problem B. Complete the rest of page 5, then check in with your teacher. Complete all of page 6. Come back to the video once you've finished the whole page. This video won't go over all of these problems, but we will go over 2 of them. Check your work for error analysis 1. Check your work for common misconception problem number 1. Now that you've finished all of page 6, you're going to go back to page number 1. At the beginning of today's lesson, we rated ourselves on our learning target. Now that we've had some more practice, rate yourself after the lesson for our learning target. Once you finish page 6, rated yourself on page 1, check in with your teacher to get additional feedback. Thank you for joining us today at Middle Math Academy, where we practice percent of a number level number 4. This is part of our differentiated series where we have 5 levels of challenge for every topic. If you're looking for any additional practice, make sure to check out levels 1, level 2, level 3, or our most challenging level, level number 5. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful day.